Alright, looks like we are live for the first ever Nerd News Today live chat. And yeah, it's very late. It is San Diego Comic Con preview night, so it's not even officially night one just yet. But we decided to do something new here, and that's going to be live chats. We've never done this before, as I mentioned. We've done a little bit of live streaming previously at events like New York Toy Fair earlier this year, and a few of the other smaller events around New York and other places. But since we haven't really done this much, we want to do more of it. You can see we're kind of a mess tonight because it is a late night. We decided that let's try and do this for San Diego Comic Con for the first time ever. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Since this is the first time we're doing this, I hope you all can let me know how everything sounds because, this is our first time. It's going to be lots of bumps in the road, I'm sure. You can even see on the screen there that I can't actually even see you guys in the chat room right over there. It's also mirrored, so it's weird. But yeah, that's something else we're going to try and fix. But at least for the time being, we can at least talk about some toys. So again, this was San Diego Comic-Con preview night. Doors opened at 6 p.m. over in California time, and it seemed like immediately a giant rush came in of all sorts of crazy stuff. So we're only going to recap a few of the things we saw tonight, just some of the things that really got me excited. And then tomorrow and throughout the rest of the weekend, we're going to do a lot more deeper dives into a lot of the stuff that was revealed. But for now, let's just go ahead. We're going to look at, I think, just three things for now, and maybe we'll pull a few other things up as we go along that I saw tonight that I was like, oh my god, let's just start talking about this thing immediately. I think number one we have to talk about, of course, is the Ghostbusters. Now, a lot of other things were announced for Ghostbusters, which we'll talk about later, but tonight the number one big, awesome, super duper reveal was that Mattel has unveiled officially their WWE Ghostbusters crossover figures. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. So here you guys can see is the poster for this really cool crossover. So we're getting, if you can believe it or not, WWE wrestlers as Ghostbusters. And this poster here is kind of some storytelling about what we can expect to see. And this is just going to be a quick slideshow of everybody that's going to be in it. So it is a 5-figure line, which will include 4 Ghostbusters and 1, for lack of a better word, villain, bad guy, I don't know what you want to call it. But in this case, we've got, in fact, there is the villain. So we just saw earlier Stone Cold Steve Austin in his jumpsuit. Here we have a spectral version of The Undertaker, and you might notice he's got a green winged eagle belt. And that's going to be, like, I think it's supposed to be a translucent, you can kind of see it there. It's going to be a little bit of a sort of translucent plastic. So it's going to be kind of like a slimed championship belt. And I guess that green is supposed to be like an ectoplasm strap, which is a pretty cool idea. Here we've got John Cena in his Ghostbuster outfit, which is not the jumpsuit. Not everybody's wearing jumpsuits, unfortunately. Some guys are in more plain clothes like this, which, to be fair, is something Cena would wear, but it still kind of marries the two things together. And again, another guy not in a full jumpsuit, we have Shawn Michaels, but he's got a shirt that's kind of similar to the Ghostbuster jumpsuit. He's at least got the cap. So there are Ghostbuster-esque things, despite there being a DX wristband on his arm. Here's another look at him. And so Mattel has not, at least as of yet, I haven't heard any news about this. We don't know if those packs are going to come on or off. It's hard to tell, and here's a look at The Rock, by the way, who's got a really awesome jumpsuit, since his flight suit's got the sleeves ripped off. How cool is that? So we don't have any word yet, or at least I don't have any word yet, if the Proton Packs do come off their backs or not. When Mattel was making these figures, initially for the Ghostbusters movie license, they eventually made a series of figures that you could take off the packs for, but that was towards the very end of the line, and it was pretty disappointing that those came out at that point. But are they doing that here with these? We're not sure yet. And the other question is, are these Proton Packs upscaled, or are they just recycling the mold for the other figures that were made before? Which, I don't know if it'll work, because those are kind of smaller figures. Whereas WWE guys are bulkier, they're about 6 inches. They're larger figures overall. And here's another look at that really cool poster. I kind of hope that they're giving these out at San Diego Comic-Con. Some folks have them, and maybe we can get our hands on them eventually, too. But yeah, I first saw these revealed online in a wrestling video. And I just realized right now, Austin's wearing his vest under the Proton Pack. Can we just talk about that for a second? He's got the Proton Pack, the vest, and then the flight suit, and then a shirt underneath it, it looks like. What? Is it winter? I don't get it. There's a lot to talk about with these things, and I'm very, very excited, as you can tell. Oh man, this spectral Undertaker here, though, I'm just seeing now more details. So let's look at these pictures, and if you look at his arms real close, you can actually see there's like paint deco that looks like it's the purple slime coming down his arms. So he is essentially made of purple ectoplasm, which again is a throwback to the Kenner toys, which had that. I wonder what's on those John Cena dog tags there. That'd be really cool to look at. Again, John Cena's in a plain shirt, and we're not sure yet. That's why I'm kind of stuttering for words here. We're still not sure, as we mentioned, what's going to come off, what's not going to come off. But we do know, because I've seen some prototype images of these, that those are actually elite bodies, from what I've been told. Which means, and you can actually tell from the joints there, in fact, in the legs, if you take a look by his thighs, you'll see the thigh swivel. That's kind of the giveaway. These are going to be elite action figures. So that means these will be totally posable and they can do a lot of things. But again, can the proton pack come off? Can these jumpsuits come off? Can all this stuff come off? I'm going to assume yes, because again, I've seen pictures of them that I'm just remembering now, in fact, as I do this. But how that all is going to work, we still have to wait. We'll probably get that information on Saturday when Mattel does their big WWE panel. And, I'm sure Zack Ryder's going to be in there complaining about how he doesn't have a Ghostbuster figure. And to be fair, he's probably the one guy that should. So this is, again, very, very exciting. And there was also a lot of other WWE reveals tonight, which we're going to look at most likely tomorrow afternoon when we do our second live stream. And hopefully I'll work out some of the kinks here. They also revealed 2 new Ultimate Editions, which I'm just going to talk about real quick while we look at some more of these Ghostbusters. We did get a Triple H Ultimate Edition and a Finn Balor Ultimate Edition. Now, Triple H, I actually predicted in our San Diego Comic-Con 2019 WWE figures prediction video, which is a mouthful, which we did with Vinny, the wrestling figure historian. We did a whole big rundown of all the figures we hoped to see, and so far a few have come true, a few haven't yet, but it's only preview night, so a lot more is going to happen tomorrow and throughout the weekend. But this right here was one of the biggest things I was waiting for, and I was actually very worried that they were canceled because I thought they were going to be an exclusive, actually, for San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm so happy that they are not, and that they'll be available in some other capacity in the future. How that happens, I don't know, but we have at least a little bit of time, and I don't know any details just yet. I'm hoping to find out tomorrow about release date and all that kind of good information, but I'm going to assume that this will be towards the fall, maybe in time for New York Comic-Con, and a price point, no information yet. I would expect these to be at least $120 to $150, because the normal Elite now ranges still between $20 to $25. These are going to be 5 Elite figures with the Proton packs, and they're going to be special. So, I don't know. I'm going to assume we're going to be spending a pretty penny on these guys. But we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully in the next few days we'll get some info on that. So, moving on, another very, very exciting thing that we saw tonight was Mattel, again, and they're basically bringing back the He-Man line. So, we saw Super 7 had them. Now Mattel's got them back. Let's take a look at He-Man Origins figures. So, there's a look at Skeletor, and these pictures come to us from Toy Arc, by the way. So these are the words. If Zack Ryder was here, take a shot. So these aren't all the photos from Toy Arc. If you want to see everything that they shot, go ahead and go to Toy Arc's website. I'm very gracious that they put these photos up here, and I feel bad taking them and repurposing them. So again, you're not going to see every single photo that they shot. If you do want to see more, go to Toy Arc. There you go. So what you can see here is Skeletor. And these are going to be 5.5-inch action figures. This is the He-Man Masters of the Universe Origins line. And right there you can see a little bit of a preview of, you can see actually right next to the pad, there's a sign. We'll come back to that. So I didn't get any pictures of the He-Man figure. So this slideshow for tonight's only going to have Skeletor. But what you can see next to Skeletor in this photo here is that there is a He-Man figure joining him as part of the launch. So we're getting 5.5-inch Skeletor, 5.5-inch He-Man. And that sign that we saw next to the tablet earlier has informed us that they're going to be showing off more reveals throughout the weekend. So who's going to be joining them? Your guess is as good as mine. If you have any ideas, do let me know. I'm going to assume that we're going to get basically whoever was in the original line to begin with in the first wave. So I'm expecting to get a Beast Man, a Man-at-Arms, maybe a Merman, probably a Tila, maybe an Evil Lyn. I don't know, but there's, of course, plenty of options. I don't quite know how many guys are going to be in the first wave, but I would assume at least 6 to 8 figures. But again, we'll probably get more information as we go along. But for now, this is what we've got. And again, I'll get some more pictures of He-Man tomorrow. So the cool thing to note here is that it looks like these are not going to be like the old style in that there's no rubber band holding them together, which will eventually break on you. What you can see here is that the joints are actually ball jointed, at least as far as the arms, it looks like, and the legs. Like, there's some ball joint action going on here. So these are going to be very, very posable. And more importantly, very stable figures. That was a major problem with the original Masters of the Universe figures, in that they would fall over eventually. And they also, to be fair, didn't have this many joints. You can see here Skeletor has a ball joint and a swivel in the wrist. He's got the swivel arm. This is already basically double the articulation that the original figures had. So I'm very excited for that. I'm still debating whether or not I'm going to end up getting these, being the big He-Man collector that I am. But we'll see. We'll see what else gets revealed. And we'll take a look at some more photos tomorrow of what else was out there for these guys. But Mattel has He-Man back, and that's a big deal because they basically dropped the license, and Super 7 picked it up, and they've been really, really running with it, making some very, very good figures. They basically launched their own retro line, which has been doing really well. I recommend you guys check it out. Now, the other question is, does that line continue at this point? Because their last line of He-Man figures was basically redecos, or just, for lack of a better word, they were just basically the figures they'd already made, but now it was like clear plastic versions of all of them, or like a yellow clear plastic version, that kind of thing. So, what that means for Super 7, I don't quite know yet. Hopefully, we'll get some answers during the week. But, yeah, I'd be sad to see them end their line, because they were doing some really great work. But, to be fair, there's not much left they can do. They are kind of dipping into deep waters now because they're doing the He-Man movie figures. Will there be any more of that? I'm sure we'll see at San Diego what the deal's with that. But for now, Mattel does have these back. The license is back in their hands. Let's see what they can do with it. Now, they also revealed some more Mega Constructs, or sorry, Mega Blocks, I think it is, whatever it is nowadays. But again, we'll talk about that tomorrow a little bit more in detail. Let's move on to one other thing I wanted to talk about tonight, which has got me really, really excited. And that is NECA. I always love visiting NECA's booth, and I love what they do with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. And guess what? They showed off a whole bunch of new TMNT stuff, so let's take a look at those. And yeah, my head is not going to be in this shot because I didn't put it in. I just wanted to have these photos nice and big, which again came to us from Toy Arc. So if you want to see more photos from them, go to their website, because I didn't want to put up all their gallery pictures because they got a lot. So let's go ahead and get started here. You guys can see we've got some cartoon-style Foot Clan soldiers, and these are new. We've got one with, looks like the fan weapon, another has a sword, and another one that has a robot head. If anybody can let me know which episode that's from, please go ahead, because I don't actually remember that one. But it's really cool looking. It's very unique. I'm excited to see how that's going to turn out. So there's a whole bunch of new Foot Clan guys you'll see throughout the photos, which is mostly new accessories, and in this case, a different head. You'll see further down, there's actually a really, really cool one I'm excited for as well. We'll wait till those photos pass us by. There we go. And so here we've got Raphael, we've got a skateboard, April O'Neil, and another Foot Clan guy with a police hat, which is just really cool. I like that detail. This Raph is really awesome. He does come with a skateboard, apparently, and that is a slice of pizza you see over there. That's really cool. So this is also kind of like a different deco for the figures. I think this is more like the Playmates action figures deco, as opposed to what they made previously. And here is the big, super duper huge reveal. April O'Neil is finally joining the line, and she has a bunch of accessories you can see on the bottom, including a turtle communicator, a camera, a microphone, and a ransom note, which you can get a better photo of actually on Toy Arc's website. But this is like the amazing April O'Neil. This is perfect. Been waiting for this one. Have to get her. That's a must-buy figure right away. That's going to be a must-buy. And these will be available apparently in 2-packs again. And speaking of, Casey Jones is now finally joining the line. Another one I've been anticipating for a huge time period. Finally got him. He's going to have a whole bunch of weapons. Looks like he's going to have at least 5, because he does have that golf, the golf club bag on his back there. And he's got a hockey stick where you can see a baseball bat. I would hope he's got a cricket bat in there too somewhere. Man, that's a really perfect figure. Here's another Michelangelo figure. More pizza. You can never have enough pizza. And by the way, check out that pizza by his foot with the ice cream on top and the sardines. That I cannot wait to get my hands on. That's a beautiful accessory. So over here, we've got, I always get them confused, but that's Rocksteady, which we saw at New York Toy Fair debut. You can also see a Mouser droid next to Leonardo's foot, which is new. And also 2 other Foot Clan guys we'll see in a second. So there's another shot of Rocksteady. That's going to be a 2-pack. And man, I'm so impressed with these figures. These are really just great figures. Cannot wait to get that. It's going to be a fight to get those, because if it's going to be at Target, oof, good luck getting those. So you can see here again, this is a new Leonardo, I believe. But more importantly, the foot soldier here is really cool, because it's got a body being sliced in half. So I'm hoping that's going to be sold, and it's not just like for the sake of a diorama, but that's so cool to have like their guts and robotic innards. Here's a Donatello next to another Mouser droid, and there's Bebop next to him. Those Mouser droids look so good. Cannot wait for those. And there's even a little, you can see towards the bottom, he's got kind of like a little, for lack of a better word, I guess steam accessory, because he's just rushing about the room. That's really nice. These figures, they're so amazing. If you haven't bought them before, totally recommend it. Now here's a few we saw previously, very recently in fact. Leatherhead, Slash, and a brand new reveal in the back corner there is Metalhead, who is actually one of my favorite figures of all time, and here's a really great shot of him. Yeah, I didn't really look at these enough before I started the stream, but now I'm kind of like speechless because this was, again, one of my favorites as a kid. Still is one of my favorite figures of all time. And this one's just gorgeous. I mean, man, look at that. I really don't have words for it because I'm just really, really happy that they're making this guy. It was a big surprise. You could say I'm shell-shocked, but it's a terrible pun, so don't say that. Now here's Slash, and we see him in the cartoon style. Now, I am a big fan of the Playmate Slash toy. I wasn't really a fan of how Slash looked in the cartoon. So if he's going to be sold as a 2-pack with someone, I hope, I don't know who he's going to come with. I am a little concerned because I'm not too happy about that figure, but I'll probably still get it. But Leatherhead, that is a really, really great figure. All new parts in that one. A lot of accessories, too. That's, and again, just a real stellar knockout figure. And I do have to give another shout out to Toy Arc for posting all these photos. They are at San Diego Comic-Con, so make sure to check out what they're doing. Go to their website, look at the full photo gallery on their page, because they have a lot more photos that I didn't go through. But let's just go ahead and watch this gallery one more time. So they had a lot of big reveals, and in addition to the Ninja Turtles, NECA also has a lot of horror stuff. They have a lot of new Alien stuff. They have a lot of new Predator stuff. And we're going to take a look at that tomorrow more in depth once I get all those photos together and actually have a chance to look at everything. And ideally, figure out how to stream this stuff correctly, because I'd love to put my face in my chat room here and get that working. But, we'll get there. First time doing this, what the heck. That's why we're doing this late night while no one's watching. So you can never have enough Foot Clan guys, right? You can never have enough Foot Soldiers. And you might notice here what's being used for the background is that backdrop we've gotten before. So that's really cool that they're just dressed up a little bit. And so again, another thing I didn't note before, you can see in this sign that these figures are coming out in 2020. So we've got a bit of a long wait ahead of us for these, but it's going to be worth it. I'm hoping that by then they'll also figure out some of the distribution issues, because to be quite honest, I actually still haven't found any of Series 1 at all in any Targets near me. I live in New York. I found nothing. I basically was able to buy the 4-pack that came out previously, some of like the exclusives and that kind of stuff, but I have not seen any 2-packs in New York or New Jersey, and I've been to other states just because I happen to pass through them, so nothing in Connecticut, nothing, it's disappointing because these are such great figures, and it's still a fight to get these. I know GameStop, again, they were getting the movie-style turtles, have yet to see any of them in any stores in New York City or New York State. I've got friends who are looking for them, and I was able to get that pack when it first came out from Comic-Con last year, but a real serious distribution problems from NECA. I'm hoping that they fix them when these come out, because it'd be a shame to not get them, and especially be a shame to pay eBay prices for them. Here's another look at Casey Jones. So just so you guys know too, that nunchuck effect you're seeing, it is translucent plastic. So it's really clever how they did that. I like it, and I've looked at it in the past with my other toys. It's really, really great. But again, that pizza that was in the corner there, that's like the real knockout for me. And once again, more Mouser droids there, which is a really cool touch. Now, I don't know if there's a Baxter Stockman revealed yet. I don't remember if there was or wasn't. But if they're making Mousers, that means Baxter can't be far off. Like maybe they'll reveal him later throughout the San Diego Comic-Con weekend. We'll see. There's another shot of Rocksteady. So, man, I really wish I was at San Diego Comic-Con this year, because there's been a lot of big reveals, and it's only preview night. So you can imagine tomorrow when we do our full stream, it's going to be jam-packed. There's that Leonardo one more time. And for anybody that's here watching tonight, please go ahead. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you're excited to see any of this stuff too, because it's our first time doing this. I want to hear from you guys, and more importantly, I want to make sure the chat's actually working. So if you're in there right now and you're watching, just give me a shout out. Say hi, hey, hi. It's really late, so I'm stumbling for words real bad here, but I just wanted to get this thing out there and give it a shot. I want that Mouser droid. I want these all. That's kind of the problem here. That's kind of the theme of this particular video, is I want all of these toys you're seeing here. And we're going to be going through Metalhead again, so I'm about to get real speechless. So the Shredder and Krang were, I believe, also previously released. At least they came in the 8-pack that was released 2 years ago, I think that was. That was like NECA's cartoon 8-pack that had the 4 Turtles, 2 Foot Clan, Shredder and Krang. That was such a great, great pack. Man, there's Metalhead again, trying to make sure I use my words. And I got to give a shout out to the dioramas, because we've actually interviewed the guy that makes the dioramas at NECA. He does such a great job with these things. And everybody who goes to Toy Fair and goes to Comic Cons where NECA is at, I talk to the reps there and they say, like, there's always a lot of people there asking, how can I buy these dioramas? And sadly, you can't. The closest you can get is that rooftop that we saw at the start of this particular clip. So that you can buy, But oh man, like this space diorama, this or not space, this Technodrome diorama would be so cool to have. And I just noticed too, if you look in the back behind Leatherhead, you can see those tubes which have the I think those were the pizza aliens. I'm gonna have to take a look and figure out which episode that was from. But again, is that a tease of what's to come in the future? I don't know. We are gonna have to find out. So there you go, guys. That's a real quick recap of just three of the most exciting things for me that were shown tonight during SDCC preview night, Thursday night. And there's so much more. Again, we talked about some of the WWE stuff, some of the other things that were out there. Tomorrow, we're going to have a massive long stream, at least 1 to 2 really long streams, just running down all the toys and every other bit of news that's going to be happening. Because there is a lot. This is going to be a jam-packed year for SDCC. I can already tell. And man, there's just so much to look at, so much to see, so much to buy in the future. So I hope you guys will stay tuned tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and like, share, subscribe, do all the things that all the YouTubers tell you to do. But yeah, please, really do appreciate it. And if you have any comments about the stream, the quality, anything else you want to tell us about, go ahead, leave some notes for us. We want to know what you think because we got to improve this. This is our first time doing it in this format. There is a lot of room to grow, and we want to grow this out. We want to do a lot more of these in the future. So again, thank you guys for watching tonight, our super duper late night San Diego Comic-Con live stream. We appreciate your feedback, your views, and your thumbs up because we need those too. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow bright and early for more SDCC 2019 toy news, and who knows what else we'll do. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. But thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.